This is the world's first full-frame camera.
Awesome. Look at how cool that is.
And I think it set a lot of people up to fail.
Not even a particular subject.
Don't like that.
So I decided to test her out because I'm convinced that by buying it, I'd been scammed. Before every Sony user comes after me in the comments, I'm not saying that this is a bad camera. In fact, I think this is one of the most important cameras ever made. Because 6 years ago, when I bought this camera, it wasn't just another random camera. This was the camera. This is the Sony A7 Mark I. Released in 2013, this was the first full-frame mirrorless camera. It has a 24.3 megapixel full-frame sensor, interchangeable lenses, and a price point that made full-frame photography accessible to everyone who ever dreamed about it. I get it, because in 2020, this wasn't just another camera to me. I genuinely believed that by buying this camera, it was going to change my life entirely. All the creators that I looked up to had cameras just like this. If I bought what they had, maybe I can become who they are. But a scam doesn't always look bad. Sometimes it's everything you had ever dreamed of, until it's not.
Right, for the next hour, I'm not allowed to remember anything I've learned over the last 6 years of photography. Today, I'm trying to bring back 2020 Marley. I remember being terrified to even touch manual mode because I was afraid that I would somehow screw up my settings and never be able to get them back. I'm trying to not think about the shots because I never really did back in the day. I kind of just went and hoped that a shot would come by. I remember one of the things that I used to do was often be too close to a subject. And I never shot anything below waist height. Now, I'm not ragging on younger me. I didn't know any better. One thing I would have done is seen my car sitting there and gone, that looks awesome. Look at how cool that is. And proceeded to take some photos of it.
See the rock there and then the car? I would have thought that is a sick shot.
When I used to photograph in abandoned places, I always liked to say that I was trying to tell a story about the location. When it was photos, it was literally graffiti. That looks cool. And there's some graffiti on this box over here. Just like that.
Who can't forget the good old stare shot?
I reckon all the way out, and it's going to be no particular focal point.
Not even a particular subject.
Just shots for the sake of shots.
All right, I think that I did a pretty damn good job at getting into the headspace that I used to be in and shoot the way that I used to shoot. And while I was importing the photos, I scrolled through some of my old Lightroom stuff and I found the preset that I used to use on everything. It's called Boggy Brown. Looking at these, I honestly can't tell if these photos were taken 6 years ago or just an hour ago, which has made me wonder, how close did I actually get? And I wasn't trying to recreate them either. I was just trying to think the way that I used to think. Oh, Boggy Brown. What a preset. What a name. I would have genuinely been proud of these in 2020. For 6 fucking years, I blamed this camera. I blamed this camera for bad photos. I blamed this camera for when it couldn't focus properly. I blamed it for every time my work didn't look the way that I wanted it to. I blamed it for everything it couldn't possibly do. And looking back now, I don't think the camera was ever to blame. So What happens when you stop thinking that way? What happens if I stop being 2020 Marley and start being the photographer that 6 years has taught me to become?
Oh, I got an idea. Don't like that. Not that either. There's apparently a historical graveyard through here. There's a fence here. So far, I don't see any historical graveyard, but maybe this is it. This is beautiful. This is, wow. I don't know if you know, but I'm a little bit of a history buff, and I love looking at things like this. 1858. Whoa. I think that might predate the church. Maybe it's kind of weird that I'm wandering around an old graveyard. Thank you for letting me take some photos. I really appreciate it. Always got to thank them.
There's kind of one thing that's bugging me about all of this. I don't know whether I've created false memories or not. And the person who's been there throughout all of this has been Sam. I think it might be a good idea to ask her if she remembers it just like I do. Do you remember me being as obsessed with the camera as I remember?
Yes. 'Cause obviously you were doing abandoned stuff back then when we first met. And it was like, you took pictures of everything. There are so many just random pictures of things. I know there's a lot of pictures of Louis, which I'm grateful that we have. Mm-hmm. You were like obsessed with that character. I remember we went to the houses in the entrance. Do you remember you used to have that picture that you took? And it was literally me, Cameron, and Amber, and you were standing on like the stairs and you took a picture and you fucking framed it and everything. And you're like, it's such a good photo. And it's like, you look at it now and you're like, what is it even a picture of?
I have it and I can show it on screen now. But
do you remember it?
I do remember it.
And you framed it and everything, and you were like, this is the best picture I've ever taken. I know that you were like, this camera is the best thing. This is an investment. My videos are going to be so good. Like, I'm going to be, do you know what I mean? Because when you bought it, you weren't as much you weren't really like taking photos.
Yeah.
You were filming abandoned stuff back then.
What do you think has changed between then and now?
When we used to go to abandoned places, you would do all your filming. Oh, I'm just going to take photos because thumbnail maybe, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like a reverse. The filming, you're like, you with photos now, you really get in this like this zone.
This is the church.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Minus the car shots, but like.
Well, that's what I mean. Like looking at these, it's like, yeah, I can tell what that is. You know, you're at a church, there's a graveyard, blah, blah, blah. Those other ones, I had to ask you, where is this?
Like what? It's so nondescript and it's so.
There's no storytelling. Because I think back then you didn't know what you wanted to take photos of.
No.
And I think that was the biggest thing. Like to relate it back to me, when I first started sewing, you know, I was like, oh, why can't I make clothes? Why can't I make amazing looking things? And it's like, it's not how it works.
No.
Do you know what I mean? An artist is an artist. The pencil isn't the thing that makes them an artist.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
It's just a tool. It's an extension.
I could use the exact same thing that a professional artist use, and I'm not going to get the same result.
The camera is the tool. It's not the end all be all.
It's an extension of your creativity. It's not your creativity.
That's right.
Do I think that you smell? Yes.
6 years ago, I thought that buying this camera would make me a better photographer. I thought that if I used what the people I looked up to used, maybe I'd become someone worth looking up to. But sitting here now, I finally realized what I had gotten wrong. And the funny thing is that I did. I eventually became the photographer that I wanted to be. It just had nothing to do with the camera whatsoever. Honestly, just look at the difference. This is the same camera This is the same body, the same lens. These photos weren't taken on different cameras. They were taken by different photographers. 6 years ago, I thought that the camera was meant to do the hard part for me. Today, I know that the camera is just a tool. The camera doesn't find the composition. The camera doesn't wait for the light. The camera doesn't tell the story. You do. That's what 6 years has taught me. The Sony A7 wasn't the scam. Believing that it could replace 6 years worth of practice, that was the scam.